I record this. Yes. So this is Sunday, and of course, there goes my dogs. Of course, always. It is the 7th of, it's 7/11. It's July the 11th because it's my husband's birthday today. And we did celebrate last night, though. All the kids gave him a little surprise party. It was so nice. He said, I don't want gifts because you are the gift. You know, when your kids are grown up and they come back to visit, it is a gift. And then his oldest daughter made a cute little video with some old photos and just, you know, the tenderness of the things that really matter. So we had a nice celebration last night. And his favorite cake is carrot cake. And I have to tell you, Brenda, you know, it's the hardest thing for me to buy a cake. It sounds, I know I'm not the food police, but because of the way role sugar plays in my life, it is hard for me. But what I've learned, and this is part of what this program is about, is the way I live my life and how I choose to work with sugar is not everybody's experience. So I bought the carrot cake and I had it, happy birthday, Steve, on the carrot cake. And I cut the carrot cake and people enjoyed it. I didn't have any because my role, the way my relationship with sugar is, I don't need that anymore. And if I was to start it, by the way, if I was to have a little bit, then I will overdo it because of my sugar sensitivity, which you will learn about through this program. When you understand your biochemistry around sugar, you make different choices. So I could enjoy people enjoying it and not partake myself, because it's going to be around everywhere. It's those kinds of celebrations are everywhere. We are the ones that change. We keep not changing other people's behaviors. So it was just really interesting. And even the choice of food was Mexican. And you know what they have in Mexican food? Tortillas and chips and rice and beans, none of which I eat. But I could eat the meats. So that it's a journey. And I've been on this journey now for, well, I don't know how long, maybe 10 years. And I started with this reset kit. My journey is and I will say, I am a recovering sugar addict, meaning every day I make a new choice. I have a brain and body that is very sensitive to sugar. It's kind of like an alcoholic would say that you can't have one drink. One is too many, because then it starts the brain and the body to like, oh, yes, I want more. So I'm very grateful for this program because the 5-day sugar cleanse that balanced my blood sugar, which I'm going to talk about today, helped get rid of the cravings. And because cravings are when you have a sugar sensitivity, and if you don't want to use addiction, don't use that word. You say sugar sensitivity, which is a brain and body that's sensitive to the effects of sugar. Then you make new choices. But we've got to get rid of the cravings first, which is why I do this 5-day cleanse. If I could do this cleanse with just food, I would. But there's too much interpretation of, we can have this for breakfast, this for lunch, and it sounds very prescriptive. Whereas what I'm doing is biochemically balancing your blood sugar this week. And by balancing your blood sugar and your insulin, we get rid of cravings. And then we can talk about healthy eating. And then you can get as this lifestyle to the point where you don't need to have the sweets. Now, sometimes I can have a piece of a cake. I can have a taste. Just depends where I'm at, you know, my own balance. And I was really busy yesterday because I was preparing the gathering. And I thought, I'm not even going to test it. I'm not going to have a little bit because then I'll want more. So you just kind of learn about that. So my background is that as a medical doctor, I went to medical school in Australia. I got to give a shout out. Okay. Did anybody see this women's single final at Wimbledon yesterday? The women's single. Oh my gosh. The women's single final was won by an Australian, Ash Barty, B-A-R-T-Y, who happens to be part Indigenous, which in Australia, the Aborigines, the Indigenous population. And I don't know, Brenda, you might remember 50 years ago, someone by the name of Yvonne Goolagong, who is a full-blood Aboriginal Australian woman, won Wimbledon, has not been won since by an Indigenous Australian, and she won. 24, I think she's 24 years old. She comes from Queensland, and it was a great game. So just a big shout out to Aussies and their amazing resilience and talent. So I am an Australian. I've lived in the United States for 30 years, 30. So I'm also American. Yes. And when I came to the US, I married Steve, that you just heard about, his birthday. And I decided to not continue clinical medicine here in the United States because of the managed care system that was just so different than what I was used to. I was a general practitioner in Australia, and I moved into the wellness movement. And I probably met Brenda just a couple of years into moving here. So I figured that we've known each other maybe 28 years. And in my journey through the wellness industry has taken many twists and turns, and I became a health coach, which I absolutely love, and a speaker and an author. And now I have this amazing team of coaches that work on lifestyle medicine, lifestyle habits, that this program is a part of that. So my passion is to teach you how to create health. And this program is specifically around sugar. And I do the talk today as an introduction, and then every day this week at the same time on Zoom, you have this amazing group of talented faculty of coaches bringing you great topics. And I see, hi, Rich joining us. Rich is going to join us. He's going to be our speaker on Tuesday, going to join us in some movement, lead us in Qigong movement. And Ankita, I see you there on Friday. You're doing the cooking demo. Yes. And Carol is doing tapping. If you haven't experienced tapping, that's on Thursday. So we have a great lineup of speakers for you this week. So my job is to talk to you about this kit. Oh, okay. I got to take off my little background, because then you can't see. Now you'll see my real background here in my office. Okay, no back. Okay, let me see the kit. Some of you have this. Some of you have a kit like this. Some of you just have the products separately. So everybody might be a little different. But first of all, I'm going to talk to you about what you're going to be doing this week. And then I'm going to talk about the science behind it. So you are going to be doing a meal replacement shake for 3 meals a day. So these are your meals, even though I'm going to be talking about what other foods you're going to be eating. So you just mix this with water. You do not have to mix it with any other kinds of milk, almond milk or coconut milk. There's plenty of calories. These are balanced macronutrients. So balanced fat, carbohydrates, proteins, so that it is a full meal and you feel very full. So some of you have the Nutrimeal free version. So your coach, whoever your coach is on this program, has set you up for what's right for you. And one of the requirements of doing this program is you do have a coach. And we've been through earlier who everybody's coach is. You know who your coach is. So these Zoom calls provide great health education and information and support, but your coach is the one that's really going to help you day to day figure out what's working and also what you want to do after the 5 days. So they'll play a very important role. So you also have these supplements. They are AM and PM supplements in your kit. These are called the Health Pack. These are pharmaceutical grade antioxidants and minerals. There is no iron. I get that asked a lot. No iron, I-R-O-N, in these supplements at all. And these would replace any multivitamin you're taking now. But if you are taking any fish oil or extra vitamin D, you might want to talk to your coach about what you're taking and the brand you're taking, if they're actually effective or not. But you would keep taking anything other than your antioxidants and minerals, and certainly any medications. This is not a medical program, so nothing changes. You talk to your doctor about medications. So this is a food-based program. Now these are, the reason I've chosen this particular reset kit and supplements is because these are pharmaceutical grade. And what I mean by that is they're actually manufactured in an FDA registered facility, which most supplements are not, because supplements in the United States are not overseen by the FDA at all. In Australia and Canada, they have the equivalent of the FDA does oversee supplements, but in the United States, it's a free-for-all. So if you're taking supplements, you want to really make sure that you know what the brand is, what the quality is, what the potency and purity and safety is of the supplements you're taking, and your coach can help you with that, because as a team, we look into that and we have some resources to help you understand that. So what this does is, there's no stimulants in this. This has what's called cell signaling, which activates your cellular nutrition to make sure your metabolic processes are working most effectively for your body to come back into optimal balance. Because most of us, through stress and through just environmental effects, our cellular energy is depleted. It's like the lights are a little dimmed. So these are to activate so your body starts working effectively. And also in this kit, where are my little, oh, here they are. You have 5 probiotics. So what's new for you, Moni, probably these weren't in the original kit. These are probiotics, pro meaning for biotic life, bacteria. So these are live bacteria. So it's a powder, and when it gets activated by saliva, then the bacteria get activated in the body. So they do not have to be refrigerated, which is great. And I literally open this pack, throw it down, and chase it with some water or shake. Never have this on an empty stomach, not an empty stomach, because the stomach is acidic. So the bacteria needs to go through the acidic stomach to the large intestine for it to populate your gut microbiome. So always have this maybe with a shake in the morning. And you can put it in some water and drink it, but I just throw down the powder and chase it with a little of my shake or with some water.
Tell me, Maka, when I can't hear.
Let's see.
Take your Bluetooth.
Who was saying that?
I think Xenia just came on, Dr. Karen.
Oh, okay. Let's see, I can, okay, I'll mute her out. Thanks, Ankita, for letting me know where that came from.
Dr.
Now,
Karen, do you not recommend or recommend putting that in the shake?
well, a lot of people, Margie, do put this in the shake. I have no scientific evidence for this, but I feel like by putting this in an electric, like say a Vitamix, it's really high speed. I wonder what that does to the bacteria. I just think it would be better if you could just open it, throw it down, chase it with some shake. Now, as I said, I have no scientific background for that, but it just seems to put in a high-speed blender, it would do something to the bacteria. And I would prefer you just have it separate, but that's a really good question.
That makes sense. Thank you.
And why do we use a probiotic? Because most of your immune system is in your gut, 80% of your immune system, which is also really interesting considering what we went through last year. And did anybody talk about gut health last year? Did any of the public health experts talk about optimizing your immune system by supporting your gut microbiome? That would have been a really good health education moment that was missed. But I digress. So we're going to get your gut really healthy, your immune system, plus when your gut microbiome is working effectively, most of your serotonin is made in your gut. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter. It's a feel-good neurotransmitter that helps you feel positive and optimistic, and also helps reduce, when your serotonin is high, your cravings are reduced. So there's many reasons that we're focusing on gut health during this 5 days. And you won't read about this in the literature that comes with the box, but this is all part of what I bring you to help you understand how we're operating here on optimizing your health. So those are the 3 components in the kit: the shakes, the supplements, the probiotics. On top of that, you can have unlimited salad. I don't want you to be hungry. So unlimited salad And I always have a big salad made up in the fridge where I put cucumber and cilantro. If you like cilantro, it makes the salad really zing. And bell peppers, asparagus I cut up, put on my salads. I put, of course, big green leafy lettuce. I put jicama, Jicama, and fennel. Like, just make the salad really rich and delicious. And then make your own salad dressing with some balsamic vinegar, olive oil, Dijon mustard, if you're a mustard lover. Those three things, balsamic vinegar, olive oil, Dijon mustard, or avocado oil, if you prefer that. Dijon mustard, equal amounts, make the most delicious salad dressing. And you can have that this week, because what we're doing is where the carbohydrates we're eating are what we call slow carbohydrates. They don't spike your blood sugar. They're slow carbohydrates. You can also have vegetables. So if you're here in California, it's kind of hot. So I don't know if you're going to be wanting to cook vegetables, but you can have unlimited vegetables, except no potatoes, no peas, no beets, B-E-E-T-S, no potatoes, no corn, beets, or peas. They're just higher glycemic, just for this week. So as you can see, you can eat a lot of food. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing in the slow carbohydrates for you to learn how to cook and prepare and get creative with, because this is going to be the staple of some of the eating that you're going to be doing after the 5 days. So that's, and also drinking at least 80 ounces of water is essential for success. When we're dehydrated, we hold on to fluid, and that creates more inflammation, and also the toxins that you're releasing get held. So 80 ounces of water, and I want you to be moving at least 30 minutes every day. If you have a tracker like I do, like some kind of watch or step tracker, then set yourself a goal with your coach and move, because what we're doing is we're moving the lymphatic system when we're exercising, and we're moving toxins out of the body. So with the water and the movement and the good food and the supplements and the probiotics, all of these things help with this self-care week. That's what I call this week. It's a week for you to just really focus on all these lifestyle factors that make a huge impact on your health and well-being. Also, sleep. If you are sleep deprived, that's can increase your hormone cortisol, your stress hormone, which can create sugar cravings and hold on to weight. And speaking of stress, stress also can really hinder the results of this 5 days. So why are we doing it just in 5 days? Well, it turns out that with this program, as prescribed for 5 days, by the end of it, you will have no cravings. You'll also release inflammation in your body. And a lot of the weight on the scale is a lot of fluid that's been built up because of toxins and poor cellular nutrition and lack of water and sleep deprivation. So we're basically rebalancing your body. And I don't believe in diets. What I believe is getting the lifestyle factors that create your natural normal weight. When we bring on all the lifestyle factors, then your body comes to equilibrium. And that's what we're really doing here. So there's also a reset questionnaire, and I hope you have filled that out. Your coach would have sent you a reset questionnaire. I call it reset questionnaire. What it actually is, it's called an MSQ, a medical symptom questionnaire. It's 1 page, and it goes through questions about every system of the body and where inflammation shows up. And you'll be surprised when you fill out this questionnaire. It asks about emotions and headaches and sinus issues and gut issues and skin issues and joint issues, because inflammation is inflammation. It's in the whole body. And where it shows up for you is unique, depending on your unique genetic composition. So filling out that questionnaire before you start is really good, getting a number, and then filling it out again at the end of 5 days, and then the end of 28 days to see. It's a way that we can measure success, really. And I would have sent that to you in your introductory email, and you can share your results with your coach if you like, entirely up to you. But it's a really good guide, a really good questionnaire. And then you would have got what I call a survival guide, which is just a few pages long, and it's a shopping list of what you can actually shop for this week. And it's got some snack ideas, because I didn't talk about snacks. I talked about salad and vegetables, but you can also have an AM and PM snack. And I have a list of those snacks in the guidebook and the survival guide. Basically, it's a protein and a slow carbohydrate, which is how you're going to be thinking about your food choices from now on. So what would that look like? A hard-boiled egg, the perfect snack. Hummus and some carrots, or hummus and jicama, or hummus and zucchini, like whatever you want, whatever veggie you want to dip. And a little bit of chicken and some cucumber. So you'll see that whole list of snacks. And USANA also has a brand new peanut butter bar, which I really like. That's a good snack on the go. I like those bars that are just really, it's helpful to have in my purse just in case I'm out longer than I expect, and I get that the hunger happens. So that's super cool. So I'm going to share my screen for a second, because there's another thing, and I like to show you this so that you can start seeing this differently. I just got to remove all these bars here. One of the things that this is me. So this was me before the Sugar Buster program, and this is me now. And when I look at this picture, it's really about inflammation. It's about bloating and being just puffy, And that's one of the effects of having our blood sugar go up and down, and thinking that having a fruit smoothie, well, fruit's healthy, right? Well, fruit has a lot of natural sugar. So you're just relearning what's good for you. And I didn't talk about fruit. I recommend you do not have fruit in this first 5 days, just because it has some extra sugar. And not that it's bad food, of course, but we're trying to balance our blood sugar. And in the insert that comes with this little kit, this little insert, it's going to give you some recommended snacks. And you'll see one of the first lists is fruits. Now, remember, I didn't make this insert. And so I'm just telling you what I find is most successful with this program. And I would not have fruit this week if you can just have lots of veggies and lots of salad and skip the fruit. This is what I want you to kind of think about. Pictures speak 1,000 words. And I come from the medical model, and learning about heart disease and diabetes and arthritis and diagnoses. Well, in a functional medicine model, we look at the root cause. And one of the reasons I do this work that I do around lifestyle is all of these things at the root of the tree. These are what are the precipitating causes of a diagnosis. And this is where we're going to be hanging out this week, with nutrition and sleep and support, like this group, and stress and nutrient deficiency. Because when we can get the root causes, then we can change how the diagnosis might look, even though this is not a medical program. I believe that labeling something like high blood pressure somewhat hinders our ability to treat it effectively, because we're not really looking at the root cause. And this is what we call functional medicine. The father of functional medicine wrote a book called The Disease Delusion, which speaks to this need to look at root causes. So this week, we are balancing your blood sugar. Your blood sugar is designed to be in a certain range. And when it's not, the body has a way to bring it down. So when your blood sugar spikes up, insulin brings it way down. And if it comes down too far, cortisol, the stress hormone, will bring it back up. So spiking of blood sugar also causes weight gain, because insulin and cortisol both store fat. So we are working to balance your blood sugar. And it's not about no sugar, because our body and brain need sugar. It's the spiking. So we're talking about the kind of carbohydrates. That's why I will always say slow carbohydrates. And I recommend, this is not required, but I recommend you get your own glucometer. I have one. Most people only get a glucometer when they have diabetes, but we're talking about balancing your blood sugar and watching what's happening to it. So you can get these very inexpensively. And it's really interesting to do it first thing in the morning fasting, and then watch after you eat a meal, and then an hour after. In fact, I have a tracking form for you. I'll put it on the Facebook group to, if you're interested in tracking it. And here is some numbers. So if you've ever had a blood test, they just test your fast. You fasted for say 12 hours or from 9 p.m. previous evening. I like your fasting blood sugar between 75 and 85. This is a functional model. Even though the Western medical labs might say 90 is okay, I like it to be 75 to 85. And then HbA1c is hemoglobin, which you know, glucose attached to hemoglobin. And that tells me how your blood sugar has been over the previous 3 months, your blood sugar control over the previous 3 months. And this is a number 4.5 to 5 is ideal. And if you've ever had this, you can go back and look at your blood tests and see where you are. Again, these numbers, these recommended ranges might look a little different than your lab test says, because this is a functional model. Triglycerides are linked to blood glucose control, as is, of course, fasting insulin, which is rarely done on a blood test. But if you've got blood sugar issues, you want to know what your fasting insulin is and how high it is to try and control your blood sugar, because all of these things affect inflammation. And we'll be talking more about these. So this is the glucose tracking form. I'm going to put this in the Facebook group. There's a private Facebook group called Reset, Transform, and Maintain Your Body and Your Life. And your coach can make sure you're part of that. And I put lots of these resources in that Facebook group. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing now. The main thing the message I wanted to get through to you is this understanding what we're doing this week, balancing our blood sugar. And having a glucometer just really helps you understand your numbers. And it's also really interesting. Food, of course, affects blood sugar, but so does stress, and so does a bad night's sleep because of the hormone cortisol, which cortisol is gluconeogenic, which means it makes glucose. So there are many factors that affect blood sugar apart from just food and exercise. When I exercise, when I have a good workout, it helps balance my blood sugar. So it's just a really interesting way to learn about your numbers. So I want to just see, especially for the first timers, I'm going to pause there. As I said, I'd be talking about 30 minutes. So what questions do you have? Margie has a question. Yes. Unmute. Yes. Great.
I was going to say, I don't think I have any questions at this moment, but I'm appreciating the information you're giving us. I mean, probably don't need to, but I'm even taking some notes because I like to understand, as you say, the science behind it.
Yes. Good, Margie. Thank you. Yes. And Margie, the big message I wanted to get through, and maybe I didn't say this out loud, is I am a whole food fan, WHOLE, whole food fan. That's where we want to get to eventually. And when someone has, and on Wednesday, I do the talk on Wednesday where I talk about sugar addiction and this concept I'm talking about of being more sensitive to sugar. Then not everybody is. And those people that are not sensitive to sugar don't understand why we need to do a 5-day balancing your blood sugar to remove cravings, because they don't have cravings. So I really love the format that we work through with this program, where you do a 5 days of just a big jump start. And then after the 5 days, you have a choice. So this is your homework with your coach. You let your coach know if you're an A, a B, or a C. So A is someone that's all in. So you've heard about the science. You probably feel like you have some sugar sensitivity issues, and you'd like to just really work on 28 days where you optimize this whole balancing your blood sugar. So you would, someone that's an A would do, after the 5 days, would do 2 shakes a day and 1 low glycemic meal. And that low glycemic meal means you're learning to shop differently, cook differently, prepare food differently. So we're easing into it because we want to set you up for success. I don't want you to just do the 5 days and it's like, okay, I'm done, back to business as usual. Because we're retraining not just your mind and body, but your shopping habits, your cooking habits, the recipes you use, and we're going to ease into it. So 2 shakes a day and 1 low glycemic meal. A B is someone that is being careful. Maybe you've done this program before. A lot of my coaches do this a couple of times a year just to rest the digestive system and get back into balance. I think, Ankita, you said you're going to be doing it this week because you've had a big move. Your life was turned upside down, the big move. So yes, this is a way for you to get back on track. Yeah, which is just a good example of the power of having a tool like this. So someone that's a B, maybe like Ankita, you're doing reset, and then you would do 1 shake a day and 2 low glycemic meals. And then a C is someone that is free and clear. You know exactly how to cook, shop, prepare meals, low glycemic. So you might be just doing reset and then you're going to go to all whole food after this. So you just let your coach know if you're A, B, or C, so they can best support you with the resources you need to be able to have a plan, because that's so important. There's no doubt that living this wellness lifestyle requires us to have a plan in so many ways. Like, you just don't expect, if you don't have a plan to exercise in the day, it's not going to happen. You need a plan. If you don't have a plan of what you're going to, if you're eating low glycemic and you don't have that in the fridge, it's not going to happen. You're going to go to something quick and easy and probably not necessarily healthy. So it's all about having a plan. But when you work that muscle of planning over and over, it's easy. The first time you go to the grocery store with this in mind, I'm going to tell you, it's going to take a lot longer because you're reading labels. Oh, that reminds me, I got to show you this. Okay, I've got a little time here. Reading labels. So I'm going to give you an example, and I don't want to overwhelm you because there's so much to learn and it's very exciting. And I can tell, okay, to get this to, I'm not sharing my screen yet. I got to push that right button, share my screen. Okay, so one thing you might want to ask your coach if you haven't already is for this, if you want to know more about glycemic index, there's a very good article on Ask the Scientist, and that is from USANA Health Sciences. There's about 100 scientists that write all kinds of great scientific information. This is a really good one. If you're new to glycemic index, your coach can send you this article. Just let your coach know if you'd like that. Okay, so we're going to start talking about reading labels. Now, of course, this week, it's pretty straightforward because you know what your 3 meals are and your salad and your veggies and your snacks. So it takes lots of the pressure off having to shop and prepare food. But I'm going to start to talk to you about reading labels. And you cannot go on just what it says on the box because they're trying to kind of trick you into thinking a food is healthy. So this says 100% coconut water, and most people would say, oh, okay, coconut water, that's good for you, right? You wouldn't think there'd be much sugar in coconut water. But in this container, 4 servings, 8 ounces is a serving size, so that's the first thing you want to look at, serving size, because this whole thing has 4 servings of what I'm about to tell you. And then the first thing I look at, because of my focus on sugar, is total sugars. 9 grams of sugar in 1 cup, one cup, 8 fluid ounces of this coconut water. Now, not only is there 9 grams of sugar, but that sugar is unopposed by any fat, no protein. Because the macronutrients, the glycemic index changes according to fat, carbohydrates, and protein. So this is basically sugar. And 9 grams of sugar, unopposed, in a drink is more than you would want if for someone that is sugar sensitive. And you're going to start looking at labels very differently. Here's this one. This says organic green tea. Now, it does say lemonade, which might trigger you to think, oh, well, how much sugar? 5 servings, 12 fluid ounces in a serving, 30 grams of sugar. Isn't that shocking? Someone could look at this, even the color of it. The color of it even looks kind of healthier and think it's green tea, so it's fine. But it's got 30 grams of sugar. And again, no protein, no fat. That is like injecting sugar into your artery. So I want you to start reading labels, every label, so that you can really start to make new choices. And we'll talk more about this as the week goes on. But notice I didn't talk about calories. I am really focused on looking at the sugar content and total carbohydrates. So if there was any fiber here, you could take the fiber off the total carbs to get net carbs. You can do that, but there's no fiber in this drink. Okay, so just you will take longer to read labels, which is also why it's good to kind of ease into this lifestyle so that you can start to practice it. So Brenda, you know, I always ask you to say something. So because you live this lifestyle, and anything I missed or anything you want to share just about this journey that maybe.
Karen, by the way, excellent job. I mean, every time Carol probably going to say the same thing. It's just excellent overview. I guess be patient with yourself, because depending how old you are, look how you've lived in the past. So I think we lose sight of our habits prior to this program. I would say trust this program, because and people on this call who've already done it, it works. I will tell you, none of us in the wellness believe in diets. This is not a diet. As Dr. Karen said, this is a lifestyle change. It works. Trust it. This is an opportunity for all of us, because I'm so appreciative of Dr. Karen introducing this. I think I've been doing this for 17, 18 years now. It's a long time. I think that's how long you introduced me. I can't remember. But it's truly changed my life for the good. And again, I'm in the health field, and exercise to me, I can't say enough, 30 minutes every day. Even if all you do is walk, 30 minutes, 15 minutes from your house, come back 15 minutes. Begin to engage physical activity as though you're brushing your teeth every day. That is critical to this program. And there's a lot to learn. One of the things, even Karen, as far as eating out, how to read a menu, that's going to come. That's one of the hardest things for a lot of us, because then you have to be assertive to ask the waiter how are the vegetables made. You know, that is sort of routine for me now. But there's a lot to this program, and definitely ask the questions, because a lot of us have experienced it. But trust it. Allow yourself to really create the life you want to live, because this program will give you the energy, the good health, getting rid of your midriff. Mine was due to menopause, and oh my God, it went away with this program over time. It's not going to happen overnight, because again, we've lived our life 50, 60 years, right? So depending on how old you are. So, I just think the biggest thing is believe in this, because this does work. And it's funny, because when I talk to people about their, goals, and I'll just generalize that most people ask the following, Karen, is reduce cravings, reduce inflammation, have more energy, sleep better, feel better about yourself. So your whole self and body image will improve. Oh my God, I'm going to tell you, right, Karen? Would you agree?
Yes.
All of that takes place in this program.
Mm-hmm.
And until you experience it, you just can't believe a beautiful thing that I do believe this is a gift that you're giving to yourself. This is an investment in your own health that you will never get anywhere else. And that would be my message.
Thank you, Brenda.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any questions before we jump off? No?
I did
Okay.
come up with a question from
Yes.
before about the glucometer. If I wanted to try that, is that the type that it pricks your skin?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Just the basic one. Yeah, just a little prick, little blood, put on the strip and put it in the machine. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Very inexpensive from any pharmacy. And if you don't know how to use it, say if you go to CVS, the pharmacist can show you how to use it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, that sounds like an interesting possibility to try.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. You know, the more that we can take control of our own biometrics, I talk about, know the numbers. We know our blood pressure, our cholesterol. Very few people know their blood sugar or even how their blood sugar changes. And it's a very important marker to know about. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Now tomorrow we have Natasha, who's a psychotherapist and a health coach. She's going to be talking about she's going to be doing some imagery work with us, hypnosis/imagery, guided imagery, on your future self. So as I said, we have amazing speakers, different faculty each month, and it's really worthwhile tuning in live. The recordings will go, you will get a copy of all the recordings via email as well as on the Facebook page. And I just encourage you to join us live if you can, because it's also lovely to see each other here, part of the community, which is part of our success too, because we're supporting each other. So thank you for taking your Sunday and being part of this group, because it wouldn't be as much fun if you didn't all show up. And thank you, Brenda, and good luck to everybody that's starting tomorrow. And it's brand new on the program. Can't wait to hear about your results. Okay, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time.
Thank you.
Same place.
Yeah.
Bye, thank you.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Hi, Rich.